Tube and X. I'm Jason Mann with Jim Check, and before we get into the stories and headlines today and our 5-day weather forecast, we're going to check in with Big White off the top, and Liz joins us again from Big White. Good morning.
Hey, Liz. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are we today?
Beautiful sunshine.
Yeah. How's it in Big White this morning?
Big White today, we have got a bluebird day, which for anyone who's not sure what that's meaning, we have unlimited visibility. The sky is blue. The floor is white. It is so clear and beautiful. You get yourself a tan today up here.
Wow.
Well, I know I found myself with about 1.5 foot of Big White champagne powder in my driveway today. There must be a lot up there.
Yeah, in the past 24, we've had a lot of snowfall and also a lot of snow accumulating because we've had a little bit of some windy conditions. And what that tends to do is just with that light Okanagan champagne powder, it just moves it around and puts it right back there for you to make some more fresh turns in it. Get some face shots and take those real showcase moment pictures with your GoPro or your Insta360 camera.
Nice.
So what do you want to talk about in terms of the lift availabilities? Are we wide open? Are all the runs open and are all the lifts running, or what's the current status up there?
We are really close to having a completely open mountain. The only chair we're still waiting on is the Falcon chair, which is traditionally our last and most exciting lift to open. It opens up some of our free ride terrain that we have competitions like our youth Big Mountain on, where the kids get to, express a smaller version of Alaska in their backyard here at Big White. We have a lot of snow falling, so our snow is much more consolidating. We are back to a much more regular programming up here at Big White. Less of the polar vortex and having to wear every piece of clothing you own, and more of that lovely snow that you're used to.
It sounds like it's like the best ski conditions of the year so far.
Absolutely. Off piste, we've got still pockets of fresh snow that runs from, anywhere from ankle to knee, even a little bit of hip deep some places where the wind has made it accumulate more. But also on our groomers, our grooming team with our snowcats have done a phenomenal job machining that snow into a wonderful, consistent surface for us to ski and snowboard on.
Love it. What's the base at?
So the base is currently sitting at 140 centimeters.
Okay.
Pretty good. The temperature up here at the moment is sitting at a balmy -20. So we're still advising everyone to wrap up warmly. However, the temperatures over the weekend are going to rise to an average of around about -10 with fresh snow falling potentially for 24 hours solid. So this weekend could be an absolute cracker up here.
An epic weekend ahead. Awesome. Well, any last advice for anybody thinking about coming up?
Check out bigwhite.com for all of our events, information, pricing, and any other questions. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out on all of our social media platforms, X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. And as I said, everything else we've got bigwhite.com. And we're there to help make your day and your time up here absolutely the best it can be.
Liz, it's always a joy. It's always a joy chatting with you. Thanks for coming on.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you for your time, and everyone have a fantastic day. I know we will.
Awesome. That's Liz from up at Big White reporting in this morning. We'll talk to you again. All right, well, let's dig into our first story this morning. David Eby highlighting Kelowna's rapid population growth as he promotes a $36 billion energy plan.
Expanding BC's electrical system is an economic and environmental opportunity that the province must use to its advantage, says Eby. So it's got a planned 10-year, $36 billion expansion of BC's electrical system for the Crown-owned BC Hydro, and it'll open up clean energy economic opportunities and ensure ample power supply for the province's growing population. That's from David Eby. The 50% increase in capital project investments from $24 billion to $36 billion. So they already had planned to do 24, so they're going to increase it to 36. We'll focus on increasing electrification and operations that reduce emissions across the province, right? So Kelowna is one of the fastest growing communities across Canada. See what I mean? So there's definitely going to be a lot more demand here. And one of the things they're talking about is a lot of investment in hydrogen, which is using electricity to create hydrogen. If you go on Kelowna now, you can read that full story. It goes into quite a bit of detail as to what some of these projects look like. They talk about 12,500 jobs and all that kind of stuff. We did get that piece from Renee Merrifield recently too, where she warned earlier this week that the Okanagan is about to have an energy shortage, and she called it because of ideological environmental activism. So she's saying that it's trumping our need to provide heating and cooling and could have catastrophic consequences.
And that on the heels or maybe at the same time as the Fortis denial?
Yeah, so she said that decision by BC Utilities Commissions to reject that proposed $327 million natural gas pipeline in the Okanagan puts the Okanagan at risk, right, in our living standards. So guess what? We're going to have the two guys in from Fortis tomorrow, and we're going to talk about it. So there you go.
Okay. Well, there was a smoky oven fire at a cafe in Kelowna last night, but thankfully nobody was hurt. This happened at the 1200 block of Ellis Street just after 5, if you saw smoke.
Turns out it was an oven, yeah. So the team at the restaurant had it extinguished already by the time the fire truck showed up. And they were just, when they got there, the firefighters were just ventilating the property and the affected properties. And it appears to have been an accident.
It does happen. Snow removal crews are making significant progress in Kelowna, but lots more work to do. I noticed some cul-de-sacs getting shoveled and removed.
And more than 80
snow.
Trucks out there clearing the snow.
Yeah,
which
they snapped into action
Wednesday morning when that snow started falling, and that fell between 14 and 18 centimeters, right? So up in Kettle Valley, sounds like you got more.
Yeah, it was a lot. There's always more.
City's urging motorists to slow down when you're encountering snowplows and stuff like that. And there is parking restrictions now, so watch out for that, so they can plow those roadways and laneways, right? So they are saying they're going to fine some people if they don't move them, and even tow some people. So if you leave your car in the street, you could be towed.
Well, a new gas bar could be going in on Hollywood Road if City Council approves the development permit next week.
Yeah, so we did get some feedback from a reader this morning saying, what, another gas station? So they said it should be an EV station. Turns out this one is both.
Ah, okay.
Turns out this one, the Canico gas station is going to go in 546 Hollywood Road South. It's currently home to 5 commercial units, including the Hollywood Market, Salsa and Sabor, and a dog grooming business called Barclays Muttland. That is a good name, right? Barclays Muttland. So they're saying the gas bar would include 2 gas pumps and 2 electric vehicle charging stations, right? So, and it says it falls within the official community guidelines. So they get a new gas station in Rutland. There's 2 other Cancos in the area of Rutland, so that's 3 Cancos. That's a new chain that's been kind of like going everywhere, right?
Yeah. It's really been interesting watching them grow. It's a unique situation in that space, right?
There you
You
go.
don't get a lot of gas companies emerging all the time. BC storm brings a snow day for some and a brutal blast of winter reality for others.
Especially in the Vancouver area where they're not really used to getting cold weather and snow. It's caused a lot of grief, including for areas like the Union Gospel Mission in Vancouver, because there's obviously a bigger demand for warm clothes and shelter spaces as that cold weather hits. Heavy snow in the Metro Vancouver and southwestern shuttered schools and caused transportation havoc, triggered power outages. Some of the areas got 30 centimeters or so by 11 a.m. on Wednesday. And then canceled some flights and all that kind of stuff. It did cause quite a bit of havoc there on the Lower Mainland. I think it was fairly smooth here in the Okanagan. But
yeah, I think, you know what, the thing about it was wherever I went, I saw the traffic keeping a good space between and traveling.
That's because they were listening to us.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. That's probably not that at all. But anyway. It was pretty seamless. So
we'll take credit for it.
Yeah, sure we will. Okay. Well, the man whose vehicle crashed through a barrier on the second floor of a UBC Parkade has actually died, police said this morning.
Yeah,
Remember this picture from yesterday?
The Thunderbird Parkade on Wednesday. The car had fallen from the second floor to the first floor.
What on earth?
Concrete barrier was hanging precariously. So it took them a while before they could actually remove the occupant from the vehicle as they were trying to secure the vehicle first. So no one else was hurt or injured on the scene. But anyway, terrible.
You have to wonder what happened there.
Terrible news.
Kind of have to have a fairly high rate of speed to go over an embankment like that, no?
I don't know the answer.
Yeah. Well, Canadian-built underwater observatory is transmitting data from around Antarctica now.
There you go. At the home with the penguins. A cache of scientific equipment that could fit in the back of an SUV has been lowered into the Southern Ocean north of the Antarctic Peninsula. And is already streaming open source data, so you can go check it out if you want. For anybody wanting to monitor the ocean's health, scientists say the underwater observatory collects measurements including temperature, oxygen concentration, and chlorophyll levels, and will fill a gap in data to help understand the impacts of climate change in the waters around Antarctica. It's being jointly run by the Ocean Networks Canada, out of the University of Victoria, and the Spanish National Research Council. So there you go. So
global collaboration.
And the equipment is about 23 meters deep near a Spanish research station in Livingston Island in the South Shetlands archipelago. Expect to stay there for years.
Well, it looks like a lovely, striking place to visit, too. Well, Kelowna's 8th annual Living Things Festival is returning this weekend.
There you go. The renowned festival will be bringing contemporary theater, dance, music, animation, art, and more to the Mary Irwin Theater, the Black Box Theater, and the Kelowna Community Theater main stage. The festival is dubbed Kelowna's very own international arts festival and will include performances from Montreal, Vancouver, Kelowna, including Kelowna, Romania, Madagascar, and beyond. So there you go. It's organized by Neil Cadger, a professor at UBC Okanagan's Faculty of Creative and Critical Studies and artistic director of the Inner Fish Performance Company. That's a big, long title or name. This year, the event will be taking place between January 20 to 28th. Admission prices range from free to $25 and up. And then there's you can go on Kelowna now and you can show you all the features, like some of the features, dog rising, objects in motion, plastique, playbook. Again, go to KelownaNow.com and you get the full listing plus a link to buy some tickets.
All right.
Or reserve some tickets.
Find out what's happening. And TD,
first, or
we can talk about this, I guess. Sure. Yeah. TD has released a survey today providing a financial outlook for 2024, and compared to last year, 39% of BC folks report feeling less positive about their finances, and more than half foresee inflation and the cost of living being their biggest financial challenge.
I think you're going to be
the year ahead.
58%. I mean, almost everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, it's just
yeah.
Nearly half, 46% of British Columbians are planning to cut their spending by up to $500 a month in 2024, with 71% planning to make fewer retail purchases. 67% said they'll eat out or order food less often to cut back on their spending in 2024, and 43% will be postponing or canceling their travel plans. We talked about this yesterday with Dan Elvis. You know, raising the interest rates, they talk about that is supposed to fight inflation. What it does is take the money out of the pockets of the consumer and put it in the pockets of the bank. Mm-hmm. Right, because more money for the bank,
100%, and
less money for the consumers to spend on keeping local businesses in business. So we're going to see if we can get somebody in from the TD Bank and talk about it. And we'll do a live stream with them. We did a really good live stream yesterday with MP Dan Albus. And we shared the story up today, but the video is in our YouTube channel right now and our X channel, I take it. So you can go watch it early, or you can wait for the story that Ian Burns is working on.
A range of issues, but primarily focused on affordability.
I would say affordability is the big piece. And we did talk about a few things. So we talked about Justin Trudeau's recent vacation. We talked about housing and immigration. We talked about affordability for sure was one of them. Mm-hmm. We talked about a lot of things actually. So
great. That is up now at YouTube. All right, so I think we'll check out the
weather. We talked about Bill C-18 and our lack of Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah. It's repressed already. Okay, so our weather forecast.
We're going to do 5 things, no?
Oh, sorry. We're out of order. Look at that. 5 things you need to know this morning.
So that big fire in Nova Scotia was arson. Not climate change. So that person's been charged. So there you go. And the Pope says sexual pleasure is a gift from God.
Yeah.
Well, I guess all of us can thank God for that. I think many of us probably enjoy it.
I figured anything was. But
Pakistan
anyway.
kills militants in Iran in response to bombing. So there's that conflict seems to be expanding. That's not good.
No.
Leaked video shows North Korea teen sentenced for watching TV. In Canada, you only get punished for going on Instagram or Facebook and trying to find news.
It could be much worse. Or you can get locked up.
And then
if
we
you're a
talked about
reporter,
this with Dan Ellis yesterday. Quebec at a breaking point due to asylum seekers. Quebec is saying that they don't want any more people coming, so they want it capped. So I don't know how they do that when you can move freely about Canada. They say it's causing a lot of grief. And I mean, it's again common sense, isn't it? If there's only so much, if you have a loaf of bread and there's only some people can eat a loaf of bread, and if you quadruple that or whatever, like how that.
Well, this is the
doesn't make
thing.
sense,
Freelancer have talked about in terms of social capacity, but like whose assessment?
Social capacity is a lot different than
Financial capacity,
housing,
infrastructure
and
capacity.
and, financial capacity, and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's just another way of just saying stuff that doesn't make any sense. Right? What does social capacity mean?
Well, I think we have big hearts, and rightfully so, and maybe being sort of led askew with that. But anyways. Okay. So, the problem is, I don't want to go on too much more about it, but like the problem is if there is no, I think the thing that's beautiful about Canada is that social capacity is there. And if the rest of the capacity falls behind and can't keep up, then there is no Canada to.
Yeah. I'd recommend you watch the Dan Elmas video. I know you did watch the Dan Elmas, discussion. It covers a lot of that stuff. Let's do weather.
Okay. Well, it's really, as Liz seemed very excited about the day today, and I am too. We've got some sunshine, just a mix of sun and cloud, and a high around -15.
A high?
Well, see, that's the thing. That's our high, and then it's going to get warmer throughout the day into the evening. And I think we can take a look out the window at the webcam off the website as well. And again, if you ever want to see current conditions here, or even the Big White and some of our other areas and area roads, you can always go to KelownaNow.com, look for the webcams. The top one here looks right out the 16th floor at the Landmark. And it's a nice morning.
Looks like a postcard.
It sure does, doesn't it?
It does. Beautiful.
And our 5-day weather forecast as we look ahead to the weekend. We do have a return of snow tomorrow, as Liz said, and but warming up even more with a high of -6 tomorrow. For Saturday, high of -1. Sunday, the same, and up on the plus side by Monday, and a chance of snow flurries really all through the next 4 or 5 days. So enjoy the sunny conditions today.
It's starting to look really nice, actually. Right? Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah. Better than the cold, for sure.
Indeed. It could even be a return to spring. We'll see.
Oh, we're not far away.
No, that's right. We're almost there.
2 months, right? Because mid-March, typically we get some nice days. And it's nice to get a break because you don't get a lot of sunshine days in the Okanagan Valley.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, whenever that cloud cover's there, that's like a nice warm blanket. Put on top of us and keeps us kind of warmer. When you get the clear skies, you typically get colder weather. So.
And the snow will help with the ground moisture, so that's all. It's all good, right?
Depends how you look at it.
Indeed.
We will be back at 4 p.m. With the afternoon news. And until then, stay safe and have a great day.